Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays. In this episode I'll be continuing my ambush mission 1. My current objectives, or the objectives for the scenario, were or are, this I keep saying were or are because in my mind they keep changing, but this building here, this building over here, and getting someone onto this hill, and a new objective appeared partway through the mission, which is a downed plane here. Currently I have 5 guys that are active and 2 guys incapacitated and 1 guy killed in action. The Germans currently on the board have 2 guys near this building, 1 actually in the building, 1 who's moved out of the building here. We've got 2 incapacitated guys here, 1 killed in action, and 1 guy involved in a fisticuff fight, daggers, blades, assault action in the woods over here, and a German officer over here. So we're about to start a new action round. So the first thing I've got to do is determine a random event. So let's see if I can get my dice tower in and pretty much everybody else in without shifting the camera too much. So here's the random event, and I can't even see the black dice. Problem with this dice, that's 16. So I get the booklet up, look at 16, see if that changes. I don't think I've had that number so far. 16 is telling me to go to paragraph 18. That's quite low. 18. Right, it says 1 German weapon fired in the previous round is out of ammo. If more than 1 German weapon was fired last round, determine which one randomly. Ooh, what was fired last round? That was in the last video. The officer fired. Prone guy obviously didn't. Did L fire? He did. He fired at Ambrose. So randomly determine. Okay, odd, it's German L in the building, and it's an odd number, so he is out of ammo. Okay, on the, so that is sort of 15L, that's his bolt action rifle with a scope, so he is out of ammo. So I'm going to put a marker on. It's not jammed, he's out of ammo. Okay, he's only armed now with a grenade. Interesting. We've got some grenade lobbing going on here. Okay, so next up after the random event is initiative determination. Remember, the green dice is for the Americans, i.e. me. I rolled a 0, which is rubbish, and the Germans roll a 3, so again they win the initiative roll, which now determines where these chits go. Okay, so let's have, we have German X, the officer. He's rolled a 3, so he goes with the initiative. He goes on that position there. Ambrose with a 0. He's actually going to get 2 actions. Useful. We have Soldier L, the one who's just run out of ammunition. He's going to, with a 3, with the advantage, he goes there. Bell, with a disadvantage, with a 0, goes there. Soldier R, oh, that's the one that's run out of the building. Soldier R, with a 3, ends up here. He's got 2 actions. Dylan with the jammed Browning with a 0. He ends up here in a, which is red, which is panic. He is on his own, so he will panic. Soldier S, who's involved in a melee with me, with a 3. He ends up there. Hudson and Gibson, the dynamic duo with a 0. They both end up, oh, we're going to get some actions out of them. Excellent. About time. Okay, so that's that chart filled up. So next up is the German activation number, and it's a 5. Okay, so that's again useful for determining the paragraphs. Okay, so as I mentioned last time in the last video, now that I have this set up, these now go in rows. So we have 2 turns advantage, 2 turns disadvantage, any multiples of them the same row. If they're my guys, I can activate them in any order I wish. If they're the Germans, they're organised alphabetically, or activate alphabetically. So in this row here, we have an L, S, and an X. So L will go first, then S, then X. On this row, I have B, H, and G. So Bell, Hudson, and Gibson. I can activate those in any order I want to, and Dylan won't activate because, well, there was a Luger shot that ricocheted off his ear in the last round, so he's probably thinking, oh my goodness. And he's got a jammed BAR, so he's not in a happy place. Not in a happy place. So the first act up is Soldier R for the Germans, and I think that's the Mr. Prone just outside the building over here. Okay, so let's see if I can... So I want to get the dice in. Is there any better place to put the dice tower that you guys can see without shifting the camera too much? So, not sure. What was if we move this down a little bit, keep that in there, and then move those out of the way, and move the dice tower to here. Then I'm struggling to reach it, aren't I? Yeah, and then you can't really see it. So no, it's in probably the best position it can be, which is just there. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, a little on action, moving the camera there. So on with the game. So we have Soldier R, who's currently prone just outside the building here. So what's he going to do? Let's have a look at his card. All right, so we're on the die roll of 5, and we're at condition 4. He's doing 800, which I know from experience is he stays prone. Obviously he has no idea what's going on, and he decides that discretion is the better point of valour, and he keeps eating the dirt. That suits me fine, because I can hopefully get up to him and just tap him on the shoulder. So I'll move that down to there. Next up is Ambrose. Thank goodness. Okay, because Ambrose was here, and I was hoping he'd go before Soldier L, and he is. So let's lob a grenade through the window. So let me just show you what's going on here. Let me zoom in there. Whoops, there we go. Right, okay. So we've got Ambrose here, and there's a window here, and a German there. So I'm going to throw. I mean, we could shoot through the window, or should we? Well, I haven't done grenades. That was the aim. Let's lob a grenade through the window, so let's do it. Okay, so Ambrose with a grenade. So let me pause while I just double check the rules on that. Okay, so we're going to throw the grenade through the window. Looking at the weapon chart, I'm going to have to see, I'm looking at adjacent hex, I need a 6 or less, and Sergeant Ambrose's weapon cost +1, so it's a 7 or less. So let me zoom back out now and move to me dice tower. So I need a 7 or less. I think he rolls an 8. What a muppet. Okay, so what happens now? He's trying to throw this grenade through the window, so he's missed. it scatters. When you take a grenade or sexual attack, exceed the hit chance and grenade or sexual chance scatters into a hex other than the target hex. To determine where it scatters, consult the following scatter diagram. Alright. So roll another dice. Okay, it's a 7. Alright. It says, well, it's basically come back to the zone hex. But it's got to start, if the throw originates in the hex, grenade lands in target hex. Woo! So it still does, so it scatters, but it scatters back into his own hex. So I've got this little diagram here that I'm working on. Okay, so I roll the dice, it tells me where it scatters to. That's the target hex, that was through the aperture. Yeah. And because I rolled a 7, 6 to 9, it's got a little star there, it tells me, so if I was throwing 3 hexes away, then fine, it would have landed one check. But if thrown originates in this hex, which it did, grenade lands in target hex. So he was incompetent, but not that incompetent at throwing a grenade. So the grenade lands in the target hex. Phew. Okay, now I've got to see if it's an actual real one or a dud. It's a 5% chance it's a dud. Remember, reds are 10s. 0, 8. Oh, blimey, nearly a dud. But it's a real one. It's live. Okay, so the grenade's landed in the target hex. I now look at this table here. So I've got grenade and it's inside. Well, it's got a little number 4. Grenade inside row is also used to resolve booby traps. Okay, we're not looking at booby traps. Okay, so I'm looking along here. And I now have the effect on personnel. So 0 to 2 panic, 3 to 4 wound, 5 to 6, no, 3 to 4 wounded prone, 5 to 6 wound, oh, make him go prone, 5, 6 wounded, 7 to 8 incapacitated, 6 kill. So the effect roll is, it's an 8. I've incapacitated that German. Excellent. Well done, Ambrose. So the grenade bounced on the windowsill as he rolled it in there, hit some bit of furniture, didn't bounce out of the building, went off just, okay, and took out the German. German L is incapacitated. So that removes him from here to now inactive. So that's him effectively out of the game. So I'll leave his card at the top there. And that's Ambrose's first action complete. Ooh, so charging across the open ground there actually worked. Okay, next up, according to this, is the German officer. Oh, no, it's this row, and it's got to be in alpha order. First up would be R. R is the prone guy. There's been no change to his situation. He will stay prone. So that will be him done. Next up is S. We haven't checked out S. Now, S is the one that's involved in the melee stroke actions here. He's got one action. He's currently prone. He will now be using the self-preservation line on his card here. So we've got your card, you've got normal conditions, but you've also got one for special, which is B, and S, and S is self-preservation. The Germans look at self-preservation when certain things are in effect. So let me just double check. I'm sure one of those is wounded in combat, but let me check. Okay, it says in the rules that every German soldier includes a self-preservation column, marked S. This column is used instead of the current condition column whenever the German is in a hex occupied or adjacent to an active US soldier, which is the case for Soldier S. So his self-preservation number is still determined by the action number on here, because there are different things he could do. It says look at paragraph 833. those books to where they need to be. 833. What? All right. There's 4 things they could do here. So looking at, let's show you a brief look at the paragraphs here. So 833. I've got 4 things that possibly could happen. I check the first one. If that doesn't apply, then I check the second one. If that doesn't apply, and I keep going until the last one. So the first one says, if active US soldier in hex, assault to kill. There is an active US soldier in the hex, so basically he's fighting back. All right, so assault to kill. All right, so we look at his situation. All right, he is wounded and he's currently prone. So attacking soldier's weapon skill. He's got a weapon skill of 0. He's with Bell, who's got weapon skill of 0, so there's no change there. If the attacker is wounded, it's -2. Alright, so first we've got to see if he actually hits. So he's assaulting. And he needs a 7 to hit. Doesn't seem to be any other modifiers on that. A 7 to hit. You see that? And he rolled a 2, so he's hit. He's managed to do something. Assault to kill, but he's getting a -2 if attacker is wounded. I wonder if there doesn't seem to be anything about him being prone. So he just stands up. Let me find out. Well, it doesn't say anywhere that he stands up, and there doesn't seem to be any consequence of being prone. So the actual -2 was on the to hit chance. And it's there, but he was on a 7. -2 is a 5. He rolled a 2, so that's definitely a hit. So I now look at the assault able to kill, and I want him to roll low here. And he rolls a 1. That's good. On the to kill table, there is a P. So target panics. So Bell panics, which means he goes into the panic column on here, and therefore will not get an attack in. So that is so that's Soldier S. That's his action done and completed. He's managed to give Bell the willies. Okay. Officer X in the building. He's got his machine pistol out of ammunition, and we're looking on his charts. With the 5, he will do action 836. 836. Right, it says this is again a step through. If out of sight, US sight, remove the German from the map. Now you can definitely be seen. If in US sight and in open terrain, no, he's not in open terrain. If in US sight and not in open terrain, crouch and conduct best fire. He's already in crouch. Fall prone after fire if free stance available. So he will have a free stance. He'll go prone after this shot. He can't fire into a hex where he's got own guys. Hands going all over the place. Into here because there's a melee going on and his own guy's there. But he can fire at Dylan, who's already panicked, with his BAR. So he'll fire his Luger, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hex range with the pistol. That's long range. So it's a basic to hit at 3. He's got a weapon skill of 1, so that's 4. However, Dylan he is crouching in the woods. In the woods, crouching is -3. So the German officer needs a 1. He rolls a 6, and it's therefore a miss. And at that point, he falls prone. We're going to prone counter for him. There we go. And that's his one action done. So Then this row, I can do these in any order I want to. So I am going to call up Hudson at this point. That's Hudson's over here. Okay. It's about time he got a move on. He's only got 3 movement points. So, darn, he's slow. What I could do is, no, he's not close enough for Ambrose to tell him to get a move on. So, no. Alright, so yeah, we'll be moving Hudson. He will stand his free action. Now, if he wants to go up that embankment, it's +1. So that'll be 2 into there. Okay, let's move along the road. So it's 2 to there, so it's J10. Better check that paragraph. Now it relates to sighting 2, which we've already had, so it doesn't see anything additional. So that's 2 to there. 1 into K11. Sighting 1, which we've also had, so nothing additional there. So that's his 3 movement points, and that's Hudson done. We'll then activate Gibson, who's up over here. So we'll move him into K4. Nothing additional there, so that's 2 movement points. He's also only got 3. So 3 movement points in total. So I'm going to move him into L3. And then do a free stance change on him to go into crouch. I should check the paragraph before he actually changes his stance. L3. S6, sighting 6, we've already had sight. Yeah, we've already had sighting 6, so nothing additional there. He then goes into a crouch. And that is Gibson done. No, they didn't panic. Okay. And then that leaves Ambrose for his second action. Okay. He's going to climb through the window. So that's 2 movement points. So he stands up for free. 2 movement points, 3, 4. No, start that again. Stands up for free as his free stance change. In through the window for 1, 2, and in here for 3, and then goes back to crouch for 4. But in actual fact, I need to check each of those hexes. So first of all, 2 movement points to go into K13. Nothing happens there. And then enters L13. Okay, sighting 1, we've already had sighting 1, so nothing additional there. And then goes into crouch. So that is the end of the action round. So, okay, that was fairly dramatic in the sense that I've got into the building. Hudson's coming up, Gibson's even moving, and we're still having a little bit of a fisticuff with Soldier S over in here, who's fighting back even though wounded. Okay, well, I'm going to end the video there. Thank you for watching. Hit all the buttons that you know you want to hit, and it'll be much appreciated if you hit the like button. And until next time, bye, Internet.